Zero-turn mowers under $4,000 are getting harder to rank. Prices are up, specs are closer than ever, and a lot of these mowers look almost identical until you compare the details. One gives you a thicker deck. Another gives you better dealer support. One has the bigger fuel tank. And one newer model just made this entire price range more competitive. So today, we're ranking 5 zero-turn mowers under $4,000 that actually make sense for homeowners. Before we start, drop your yard size in the comments. Are you mowing 1 acre, 2 acres, 3 acres, or something bigger? And don't skip number 1, because Cub Cadet's newer Z2 lineup changed the rankings. At number 5, the Ariens Edge 42 Briggs. This is the mower for someone who wants a simple, compact, zero-turn with a tougher-feeling deck, but still wants to stay under $4,000. The Edge 42 gives you a 42-inch cutting width, a Briggs & Stratton XE2000 twin engine, a fabricated deck, residential hydro gear drive system, a 2-gallon fuel tank, and a compact footprint that works well for smaller yards, gates, sheds, and garages. The biggest selling point is the deck. A lot of lower-priced zero-turns use stamped decks. The Ariens Edge gives you an 11-gauge fabricated deck, which feels more serious if your yard has bumps, roots, or rough patches. This mower makes the most sense for homeowners mowing around 1 to 2 acres of mostly flat grass. It is not the fastest mower here. It does not have the biggest fuel tank. And once the price gets into the mid-$3,000 range, it starts running. Into mowers with stronger engines, wider decks, better warranties, or bigger service networks. That is why it ranks 5th. It is a good mower, especially if you have a strong Ariens dealer nearby. But in this updated ranking, the value is not quite as strong as the next 4. Quick question. Would you rather have a fabricated deck on a smaller mower or a wider deck with more cutting speed? Because number 4 is all about thick steel and fuel capacity. At number 4, the Bad Boy MZ Rambler 42. This mower looks and feels tougher than most budget zero-turns. The big selling point is the deck. Bad Boy lists the Rambler with a 7-gauge all-steel formed and welded deck with reinforced edges. That is seriously thick steel for this price class. You also get dual hydrogear ZT200 drives, a heavy-gauge welded frame, 42-inch cutting width, cutting heights from 1.5 to 4, 5 inches, 18-inch rear tires, 11-inch front tires, and a huge 6-gallon fuel tank. That fuel tank is a major advantage. Most residential zero-turns under $4,000 are closer to 2 or 3, 5 gallons. So if you hate stopping to refuel, the Rambler stands out. Bad Boy also offers multiple engine options, including Briggs, Kohler, and Kawasaki versions. But be careful here. The version that usually fits under $4,000 is often the Briggs model. Kawasaki versions can cost more depending on the dealer. This mower is best for someone who cares about deck thickness, fuel capacity, and a tougher build feel. But there are trade-offs. The Rambler only comes as a 42-inch mower. If you want a wider deck, you have to move up in Bad Boy's lineup, and that usually costs more. It also runs around 6 miles per hour, so it is not the fastest mower here. And while the deck is impressive, some buyers may prefer a Kawasaki-powered mower with a wider deck and stronger overall value. So the Rambler wins on deck and fuel tank, but lands at number 4 overall. Would you rank this higher just because of the 7-gauge deck? Let me know in the comments, because number 3 is probably the safest ownership pick. At number 3, the Toro Time Cutter 42. This is the safe choice on the list. Not the thickest, not the widest, not the flashiest. But safe matters when you are spending this much money. The 42-inch Time Cutter usually sits under $4,000 depending on retailer, dealer, and exact model. You commonly get a V-twin engine, 42-inch deck, smart speed control, dual hydrostatic drive, up to 7 miles per hour forward speed, a 3-gallon fuel tank, and a 3-year unlimited hour residential warranty. But the biggest reason Toro ranks this high is support. Toro has one of the stronger service networks in this category, and that matters after the sale. When people shop for zero-turns, they usually focus on horsepower, deck size, and price. But a few years later, what matters is parts, belts, blades, repairs, and whether someone near you can actually service the mower. The Time Cutter is best for homeowners mowing around 1 to 2 acres who want a familiar brand, easy parts access, and a proven residential platform. The Smart Speed system is also useful. It lets you control ground speed while keeping blade speed up, which helps when trimming around trees, fences, landscaping, and tight corners. The downside is build spec. The standard 42-inch Time Cutter uses a stamped deck, not a heavier fabricated deck like the Bad Boy or Cub Cadet Z2. The tires are also not the biggest in this group. So if you want the thickest deck or widest cut under $4,000, Toro may not be your first pick. But if you want a mower that is easy to own and easy to recommend, the Time Cutter deserves the number 3 spot. Now we get to number 2, and John Deere fans may think this one should be number 1. At number 2, the John Deere Z300 series. The Z300 lineup is strong because Deere gives buyers multiple options under $4,000. The Z320M gives you a 42-inch axle deep deck, 5 horsepower V-twin engine, 20-inch high-back seat, rear hitch, 3-gallon fuel tank, 7-mile-per-hour forward speed, and a 3-year or 200-hour bumper-to-bumper warranty. But if your yard is more open, the Z330M is especially interesting. It gives you a 48-inch deck, 23 horsepower V-twin engine, the same warranty, a comfortable seat, and John Deere dealer support while staying just under the $4,000 mark before taxes, setup, or delivery. And that dealer support is the big reason Deere ranks this high. People do not just buy John Deere for the color. They buy it for parts access, service access, resale value, and brand confidence. If you have a good John Deere dealer nearby, this mower becomes even easier to justify. The Z300 series is best for homeowners mowing around 1 to 2 acres who want a proven residential zero-turn with a strong support system behind it. But it does not take number 1 for a few reasons. The deck is stamped steel on these models, not fabricated. The fuel tank is 3 gallons, which is fine but not special. And the warranty has an hour cap, while Cub Cadet offers a 3-year unlimited hour residential warranty. So Deere is still an excellent choice. But for pure under $4,000 value, one mower edges it out. At number 1, the Cub Cadet Ultima Z250. This is the new ranking winner because it changes what buyers should expect under $4,000. For around $3,799 MSRP, the Z250 gives you a 50-inch cutting deck, 23 horsepower, Kawasaki FR Series engine, Hydro Gear EZ T200 transmission, 7-mile-per-hour forward speed, 5-gallon fuel tank, 20x10 rear tires, 11x6 front tires, LED light bar, hour meter, tubular steel frame, and a 3-year unlimited hour residential warranty. That is a strong package, but the biggest upgrade is the deck. This is not just another stamp deck budget mower. The Z250 gives you an 11-gauge fabricated Aeroforce deck with 3 blades. So you are getting a wider cut Kawasaki power, fabricated deck construction, bigger rear tires, a good fuel tank, and an unlimited hour residential warranty while staying under $4,000 before extra costs. That combination is hard to beat. This mower is best for homeowners mowing around 1 to 3 acres, especially if the yard is open enough to benefit from the 50-inch deck. The wider deck helps you cover ground faster than the 42-inch machines, and the Kawasaki engine is exactly what many buyers want in this price range. Now, it is still residential. It uses residential-grade transaxles, so do not buy it expecting commercial durability. If you mow rough acreage, steep hills, or heavy grass every week, you should spend more. Also, a 50-inch deck is not right for every yard. If you have narrow gates, tight landscaping, or limited storage, a 42-inch mower may be smarter. But for the average buyer looking for the most mower under $4,000, the Cub Cadet Ultima Z250 is the one to beat. That is why it gets number 1. So those are the new rankings for 5-0-turn mowers under $4,000. The Ariens Edge 42 is the compact fabricated deck option. The Bad Boy MZ Rambler 42 is the thick deck big fuel tank bruiser. The Toro Time Cutter 42 is the safe ownership pick with strong service support. The John Deere Z300 series is the brand confidence and dealer network choice. And the Cub Cadet Ultima Z250 takes number 1 because it gives you the best mix of cutting width, Kawasaki power, fabricated deck, tires, fuel capacity, warranty, and price. The biggest takeaway is simple. Do not just buy the mower with the best paint job. Look at the engine, deck construction, transaxles, fuel tank, warranty, and who will service it after you buy it. Now I want to hear from you. Which zero-turn would you buy under $4,000? Cub Cadet, John Deere, Toro, Bad Boy, Ariens, or something else? Drop your pick in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.